Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting the first game of the World Championship match between Anand and Gelfand. And the first game ended only a few minutes ago, and Anand was playing the white pieces, Gelfand had the black pieces, and the game started d4 from Anand. Knight f6, c4, and g6. This was perhaps a minor surprise. And knight c3, and then d5, and this Gelfand opting for the Grünfeld was a big surprise. Knight f3, bishop g7, c takes d5, knight takes d5, e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, c5. And now Anand chooses a relatively rare line. Rook b1 and bishop e3 are the main moves here, but Anand played bishop b5 check. Knight c6 from Gelfand, and here the main move for white is to castle, but Anand played d5. This is of course a very sharp move, and I think already here at move 9 we can say that we have an interesting opening of the World Championship match in Moscow. And the first thing to notice with this sharp move from Anand is that bishop takes c3, and then bishop d2, and if black then tries bishop takes a1, then queen takes a1, and both the rook and the knight on c6 is on prise, and this is of course good for white. So black would have to play here, instead of bishop takes a1, he would have to play queen a5, and after which we have an interesting position: rook b1, a6, bishop takes, b takes, d takes. Interesting play here, but Gelfand didn't take on c3, and another option was to defend this knight, which is attacked. He could defend it with a6, and this is of course also possible, but perhaps Gelfand didn't like the line bishop a4, b5, d takes, b takes a4, where all the queenside pawns on both sides are on their own. I don't think Gelfand liked this, so instead he played queen a5, which is also a good move. Rook b1, a6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and castles. And at this point it appears that Anand is still in home preparation, while Gelfand takes his time to find the right moves. And what should Gelfand do here? Should he safely castle, or should he go pawn hunting on a2 or c3? It's a very difficult decision to make over the board in the first game of the World Championship match, unless you are prepared, of course. And that's one of the questions. Was Gelfand still in preparation here? He could have played queen takes c3, but of course this loses to bishop b2, after which there's a skewer on the bishop. He could also go pawn hunting by taking here with the bishop, but then bishop h6 is annoying for black. Clearly the safest option would be to castle, and then d takes c6 with an unclear position, but white perhaps having the more active pieces, I don't know. But Gelfand shows a lot of courage here, and he's going for the greedy move queen takes a2. Rook b2 came fairly quickly, so clearly Anand is still in preparation, and now Gelfand spent some minutes to find the most accurate move, which is queen a5. And it is in fact a very nice move, because it is still eyeing the c3 pawn, but more importantly it allows Gelfand to retreat his queen to c7 or to d8. And after this queen a5, Anand now has a decision. He can grab the pawn on c6, which would allow Gelfand to castle, or he can play d6, which is the more aggressive option, and it's keeping Gelfand's king in the center of the board. And again, Gelfand spent some time to find a good move, and with rook a7 he in fact found a very strong move, strong defensive move, because from a7 the rook controls both d7 and e7. And with a few accurate moves, Anand has perhaps a last chance to maintain some initiative with the move bishop f4. with the idea of knight e5 next. For example, castles and knight e5. This looks quite strong for white. And black is practically forced to give his bishop for the knight. Bishop takes and bishop takes. And this should be a little better for white. But in the game, Anand didn't play bishop f4, he played bishop g5. And then, again, Gelfand made a courageous decision. It looks scary, but he simply took on d6, and after queen takes d6, it looks unpleasant for Gelfand, but he confidently follows up with rook d7. And now the game slowly turns in favor of Gelfand. And now it's Anand who spends more and more time on the clock. Queen takes c6 from Anand, queen c7. Now we see the useful placement of the queen on a5, allowing it to retreat to c7. Queen takes, rook takes. And with the queens off the board, we now have an endgame. And Gelfand has two isolated pawns, Anand has only one. But as compensation, Gelfand has the bishop pair. The position is equal. Bishop f4, rook b7, rook c2, castles, bishop d6, rook e8, knight d2, and f5. And in the endgame, it was again Gelfand who spent the most time. But there was not much more in it. f3 from Anand, f takes, knight takes, and bishop f5. And here the players agreed on a draw. So we had a draw in the first game of the World Chess Championship match, with Anand playing the white pieces, and Gelfand surprisingly opting for the Grünfeld defense. And Anand came up with an interesting line, which had not been played very many times, this d5 move. But Gelfand found all the accurate defensive moves, and in the end he had perhaps even the better position, but it was all in all a fair draw, and a very promising opening of the 2012 World Chess Championships. I hope you enjoyed this first match, and I hope to see you on my chess website at clausjensen.com. Bye bye for now.